What's up, everybody? This is your vault keeper here. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, this is a new little introduction to what we've been doing here. This is going to be a new segment we're going to put into the darkness with the vault keeper here. And our first guest tonight is GrimSoultaker. How you doing, Grim?
Well, just got back from the grotto.
Okay.
Gotta feed them.
Okay. Well,
Some of them are real annoying, especially that new one that I got, new edition.
well, folks, this story tonight is going to be off of Grim's Ape Canyon that he just did a segment on. So, Grim, what got you into your news reporting? What struck your interest?
Well, when I was a young kid, I was quite young, by the way. I'm thinking about 9 or 10. There was two things I wanted to be. One was a detective, and the other was a superhero. Well, I couldn't be a superhero. Didn't have the money. I'm not Batman. Get my meaning. And I had a chance with the Blavel PD to be an assistant to a Blavel PD detective. That's where I'm from. Okay. I'm letting y'all have a little tidbit. I think I mentioned it a few times. You won't? Where I'm from?
Oh yeah.
Well, figured that it would be a good idea that I can't do that. I can't do it because I have some people call it a mental illness or a disability. I just call it Asperger's. If you guys know about that by now, because of the thing I did, the day in the life of a person, a day in Grimm's life, basically. That's funny. Chris, funny. But I decided, well, when I got my own place, I decided, well, I can't very well do what I wanted to do because of what I have, and I'm on disability. So I decided to go into reporting any type of news from the very beginning when I first got my laptop, anything I could. And then up until the point I talked to UNDW on a live stream. That's what you guys got me my niche. I'll praise y'all guys all day long about that. Because I remember what I think it was you that said, do the report on paranormal. And that's where I got that from. But yeah, I couldn't be a detective or a superhero, so I decided to be a reporter, reporting on things that not normal people know about. So that's how I got it.
Well, that's cool. And dude, you ain't got to give me or DW any praise for anything. Like I said, it's just trying to help out somebody. I like to help out anybody and everybody. There's plenty of room here. But all right, since you've been doing this, what is your favorite story? Let me put it to you that way. What is your favorite story that you've done so far?
Favorite story? Oh man, you wouldn't believe this, but it's one of my newest ones. Not at Canyon, but one before that. It's on one that not many people cover, but many people know about it. It's the Tasmanian tiger is my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one.
It just hit me as that we were having a discussion, I think it was earlier this week about it. Weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was talking about it, and we got into all this stuff about scientists and stuff like that. Like it'll be dead, then it'll be alive. It's like a reoccurring thing. And I'm like, well, that's something people don't hear about anymore. It's something that's extinct. And I thought, well, this is a good thing. This is good because I was just randomly looking up cryptids like I normally do. Just about any cryptid I can find, I look up. And some that you guys don't know, like my newest one about the Grim Grotto, water panther. That's my newest one. But I really enjoyed the Tasmanian tiger. That one was just hit me where, okay, this thing's supposed to be extinct, but people are saying they're seeing it. So yeah, that one really hit me. That's my favorite as of right now. But go ahead.
Well, from that, you just did a story on Ape Canyon. You want
Oh
to tell
yes.
you want to tell the people a little bit about what you found that you couldn't exactly add in because you didn't have enough time, or stuff that you found later on about Ape Canyon?
Yeah. I found out I couldn't add in because I didn't want to make the story too long. You know how me, I like to keep it 10, 20 minutes. And another thing I found out is that there was this National Guardsman who who was near the when St. Helena erupted back in, I think it was 2011, 2001. I'm not sure. If you guys want to look that up, you can.
I
Um,
think it's been a little further back than that when since St. Helens erupted.
okay, I'll go with what you say. But he was in there, and he saw this 7'5" tall ape-like man. He had hair. He described him as a man that had hair all over his body. He was about 7'5" and very muscular, you know. And he had second and third degree burn marks on him. The thing is that there wasn't nothing about telling about what happened to him. There was like gone, you know, nothing, no report on the body or anything. I quite found that quite odd, and to me, it sounded like pretty much what they had called it. We'll get into that other part later, which you've probably heard already. They used to call them mountain devils,
Yep.
and then there's this other case. If you want me to go further into it,
Right.
this is in the report, but there were a few things that I had to leave out. And they never found the body of, I think his name was Carter. I'll just call him Carter. They never found his body. They gave up after 2 weeks of searching. But within that time period, a professor said after that happened, within a 20-year span, they were 20 to 25 people that went missing
You're pretty
after
accurate on
that.
that.
And I'm pretty sure you got some stories to share on that as well. I mean, you were talking to me about that. You know some stuff that I didn't have an report, and I couldn't find the ones that you were talking about. That's why I didn't say anything about them, because I know they're true, but I didn't have the full story.
Well, most
You know.
people, all right, for the people that don't know, Ape Canyon, I think is on the south side of Mount St. Helens. Back in
Yeah.
I think it was the early 40s, during I think it was the second or third gold rush, that gold was found in the canyon that is now known as Ape Canyon. Um, so these miners decided they were going to get together, go up there, and they were going to strike it rich. Well, they get up there, and they'd been walking around prospecting everything. Well, they noticed every time they leave camp that stuff would be messed with, and they thought it was just other miners. Well, they set a guy up one day right there close to the camp to see if they could figure out who was coming into camp messing with stuff and run them out of their claim. Well, these things come down out of the mountainside of Mount St. Helens into the canyon and started towards the camp. Well, the way the man described it, and I cannot remember his name to save my life right now, he described them as giant, man-like, hairy devils, is the way he kept describing them. And he took a pot shot at a couple of them, and then one was standing up. Now these they're sheer walls. They're like 200 foot drops out there, Uh, he took a pot shot at one of these things and actually hit it, and it stumbled back and fell over about a 200-foot drop sheer cliff. Well, all the guys heard the gunshots, so they come running back, and he started telling them, "Hey, look, I just shot this devil." And they're like, "Explain to me what you're talking about, devil." And he described it. Well, they all decided to go ahead and turn it in for the night. And during the night, these things came back and started pelting this shack that they had built, this miner shack, with boulders and rocks and sticks and whatever they could find. And they would just circle them. And they took a couple of shots out into the wild darkness and stuff. And anything, well, the next day when it got light, these things kind of left. Well, when they left and they didn't hear them for a while, they just took off. They left whatever they couldn't tote, they left.
I remember there was also, I remember that report. His name was Fred Beck, I think, was the one that was telling the story. And you told something that I couldn't find in the report. I don't think he told that he shot one before. Now, it didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about that. So that's what got me thinking. Why would these things just throw things on, just be throwing things? And that was left out of the report itself.
Supposedly, like I said, that's what got it started. He shot and killed one of these things, and like I said, it fell off the canyon wall. And the next morning, the reason why they turned in early that night, the next morning they were going to go down and retrieve the body to see exactly what he had shot and killed, because it wasn't making any sense to them what he was describing. And like I said, that night they came back for revenge, if however you want to put it. Like I said, that's what got the name. That's what got the place the name Ape Canyon. And then over the years, there's been several. Like I said, it's on up there in the missing people, and the sighting reports are up into the hundreds for all over Mount St. Helens. I've had the fortune to go to Mount St. Helens several times. I've been in Ape Canyon, I know of 4 times, I think 5. It's an eerie, spooky place. It's odd because, like I said, it's been a whole lot of mining being done there. And for anybody that knows anything about mining, when you dig out, you have what's called tailing. That is all the leftovers from the dirt, the rocks, and everything else that they don't need, and they make piles. Well, there's piles all through there. And some people believe some of these are not tailing piles. They believe they are burial piles. Are huge. I'm talking about, think of your house in a pile of just rocks.
So you're thinking maybe they were trying to get them out, the miners out, because of the burial ground that might be there. Correct?
They didn't want them in there for some reason. It never. You wouldn't believe the reports that people come back with. It's fine. They're fine. Everything's going good. They're having a picnic. They're just hiking, whatever. And it starts to get a little dark. And then they would say they hear these weird knocking noises or rocks clacking together. And then they start getting stuff thrown at them. They get actually run out of the canyon. That says they usually say as soon as they leave that canyon, they cross out of the canyon, go down. Usually all the stuff stops. They stop following them.
So they just leave them alone after they follow?
Well, it seems like as soon as they get out of that canyon, they just they don't follow them no more. They don't keep pushing them. The noises and stuff kind of stay in the canyon.
Oh. Well, I mean, there was, I think, a report. It wasn't fully finished because I don't know why they didn't tell what happened in the autopsy. When they found this body of this man, it was on the outside area of it. It was in my report. But I'll tell you, because I don't know how many of y'all watched it yet, but I'm gonna tell you this. He was near some volcano tubes. Caves or what, caves, volcano.
Yeah, he was. I think I know what you're talking about. I think he was a cave explorer. He was basically what they call spelunking. He was just going in and mapping them, basically.
And they never found his. They found his body, but his wife and kids said he was too experienced to have happen something. I think have happened what happened to him. You know, his death was way too mysterious. They never got into the. You know, what I think it is that whenever Bigfoot gets a hold of something, from what I understand, a Bigfoot creature gets a hold of somebody, they usually write it off as mysterious or unknown, or a bear attack, or a dog attack or whatever, right?
Yeah, generally.
Wolf attack. And the thing is that they didn't have anything on the autopsy, and this was from the Oregon. I think it was one of their news stations. I guess like My Channel 8 type of deal, local news.
Yeah.
And this came straight from them, and they never did say anything about the autopsy. And that was last year, I think it was, if I'm correct. I'll have to check my notes, but I think it was.
I
But
believe you're right. Like I had to go back and look. I've looked at so
yeah,
many
it was.
reports and so much stuff. Like I said, I can tell you, I've probably told this 3 dozen times. We were doing a search and rescue, me and a couple of buddies of mine, on Mount St. Helens for some missing hikers. And way off in the distance, all of a sudden we start hearing a car alarm. Now, if you Google Mount St. Helens, on the north side of Mount St. Helens, there are no roads. I'm talking about none.
Exactly.
To get a car there, a truck there, you're just about going to have it flown in and dropped by helicopter. But we start hearing a car alarm go off on the north side, and we all just kind of stopped and looked. And do you hear that? Yeah. What is that? That sounds like a car alarm. Okay. Well, odd things happen all the time. We just kind of wrote it off and went back to doing what we were doing. Well, the closer we got to the north side, every once in a while a car alarm would go off again. But the closer we got, the more it stopped sounding like a mechanical, and it started sounding like an animal trying to mimic a car alarm the closer we got. I firmly believe this thing, it was a Bigfoot. I never got to see it. We didn't get probably within 1,000 yards of it because, like I said, we were already looking for something or some people.
You think it could have been there to lure you away?
Well, I think what it was a younger one that had been somewhere and heard, because these things will mimic other things. They will mimic birds. I've even heard them try to mimic almost a person talking. And I think they heard that somewhere, and he was mimicking it, because we were making look. We wasn't trying to be quiet. I'm talking because we're doing a search, so we're blowing whistles. We're hollering, but most of the time we're blowing a whistle. The distress code for if you're lost in the woods is 3 bursts from either a rifle, a yell, a whistle, a horn. And the response back to that is usually 2. And so we were just blowing a whistle as loud as you could blow a whistle 2 times to wait to hear someone, holler or whatever back. Because like I said, we were looking for some missing hikers. We finally found them, but they done got so crossed up they wasn't even nearly where they were. They were on the opposite ridge from Mount St. Helens. I cannot remember the name of it. But they could actually see. We wear bright fluorescent orange and bright yellow helmets when we're doing that, and they started coming back towards us. That's how they came back to us, because they could see us. They were high enough up on the other ridge across from Mount St. Helens, they could see us. So they started back across. But you're talking about probably 2 miles that you can see across there because when Mount St. Helens erupted, I forgot what year it was. It blowed down thousands and thousands of acres of trees, a lot of underbrush. But if you're on one side of a slope and you're up on another side of a slope, you got the valley in between you. You can see across there, and it may be 5 miles across there, but you can see a little dot of like a fluorescent helmet moving across.
Yeah, I'm just wondering though. I mean, if that Bigfoot wasn't trying to mimic your whistle.
No, it sounded like it. It was sounding just like
A
A
normal
car
car
alarm.
alarm?
Yeah,
Huh.
I was trying to see what Tater was saying in the chat.
Let me see if I can't help you out.
Uh, I don't think it was very important.
Tater, man, do you know how much the rigs cost for spelunking?
A bunch. A bunch. My what what they call my speed rig cost just the harness without the ropes and without any of the accessories was right around. And then you got ropes that cost anywhere from $200 to $800, depending on what kind you buy. All that different stuff, but that's a different show.
Yeah.
uh, but like I said, it's
Back to what you were saying.
like I said, there's so many missing person reports that come out of Mount St. Helens, and some of them are just people that don't pay attention and learn the area before they go. Because, like I said, you do have Mount St. Helens is still an active volcano, y'all.
Yeah, that would scare the flip out of me going
Well,
underneath the
depends on
volcano.
where you go. You can be in a certain area and gas vent out and it kills
Yes.
everything right there because it's poisonous gas. You got everything from uh toxic what is it called? It's muriatic gas, and then you have CO2 that vents out sometimes. And they found bears, like 5 or 6 bears almost each other in this one little area, and it was due to vent of poisonous gas. Water
Yeah.
systems there will go poison because of the venting that goes on in the water. It kills everything in the water, and if they drink the water, they die.
Oh man, that's rough. So I'm wondering how these Bigfoot are surviving. I mean, if that happens, I'm wondering if they hadn't found a Bigfoot body that
Well, I'm pretty sure
died
if they
from.
ever did, they wouldn't say nothing about it. But you know, these are smart. A Bigfoot is way smarter than most people want to think. Yes, it is a creature. It's an animal. It's a flesh and blood, but it is highly intelligent. They learn. If a Bigfoot sees 4 or 5, animals laying there, I don't think it's going to go over to investigate. Uh,
No.
it's probably going to know something bad's there, and they're going to avoid it.
Do you think they have heightened senses? You know, sense of smell.
Oh yeah, they can smell for long distances. They can see, man. They can at 100 yards is like you looking through binoculars. Uh,
Oh, that is
um,
awesome.
and their hearing is excellent because you got to think about something. They haven't accepted themselves to things that we have to make your hearing go bad. To stare at TV monitors and TVs and stuff like that
Yeah.
for long periods of time to make your eyes go bad. They don't go through all the perfumes and all this kind of stuff that will, that lower your senses.
Yeah, that's true. That is completely true. But I mean, Ape Canyon, that's an expansive area. Do the locals call it that?
It's got a couple. Some of them call it Nugget Canyon. Some of them call it Death Valley. It's got a bunch of different names, but most everybody knows it by Ape Canyon. Now there is another canyon that is lower down on Mount St. Helens that people get confused and think they're in Ape Canyon and they're actually not. They haven't went. It's probably 800 feet in elevation lower than Ape Canyon. So that's the other
Oh,
thing. The elevation there, you can be hiking and not realize you've went up high enough in elevation that your body is not equipped and designed to do that because you've been down at lower elevation, and a little 5-pound pack will feel like it weighs 100 pounds. And like I said, that's what I'm talking. People get themselves in trouble hiking and stuff like that all over Mount St. Helens all the freaking time, to the point where Mount St. Helens is one of the only places in the United States. There's 4 of them that have their own 24-hour, 7 days a week, regardless of what day it is a year, rescue center. You have the Mount St. Helens Rescue.
oh man, that is horrible.
Yeah, well, that's how many people get in trouble and people go missing.
Man,
Another one is it's over. What is it? Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills Rescue Center. You would not believe how many idiots go to Mount St. Helens and try to not Mount Rushmore, and either try to climb Mount Rushmore to get them a picture with the presidents, or climbing the presidents, or try to rappel. And it has so many cracks and fissures in it that it's not safe to climb.
No, it's not.
Uh,
I mean, that thing, they
and
use dynamite.
and you go to jail.
Oh yeah, that'd be the worst thing. What you in jail for?
I tried to climb up George Washington's nose.
I'd be looking at you like, what the is wrong with you?
Well, like you were saying,
then,
the way thing was not just carved. They used dynamite and lots of dynamite to make those portraits. And if you look at it, pictures of it, you'll see a bunch of rocks and stuff like that right in the front of it at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the stuff that came off of it, and there's still stuff coming off of it.
Oh man, so basically that thing's never really gonna look. It's never really gonna look the same.
Nope. I was trying to see what Memphis was saying.
Well, I'll be right back. I gotta go. Like I said, I got a something tore my knee. I just iced it, and I'm gonna put the ice up. Be right back.
All right, go ahead, man. But like I said, this is this is another add-on we're going to do here to Vault of Nightmares, where I'm thinking we're going to start doing it every Wednesday night between 8 and 9. It's going to be Into the Darkness, where we talk about, you never know what we're going to talk about here. We could be cryptids one week. It could be paranormal. It could be where we're doing an interview like we're doing now. Y'all leave me a couple of comments on this and let me know how y'all like it. Like I said, it's not going to be one of the long ones, but like I said, it's just something to fill the void during the week. And Lakea has some shows fixing to come up on her channel, is saturating the market. And thank all of y'all, dude. We were up to I know 304 the other night with him. That was awesome. I think Grim's on his way back in.
All right, I'm back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to get something to drink too.
Well, after doing the story of Ape Canyon, I don't know what your feeling was towards Bigfoot before, but what is your feeling towards now? Did it make you more of a believer, less of a believer?
Well, it made me more of a believer because I mean, if that's a national park, and if that's pretty much what hundreds and hundreds of miles long.
It's hundreds of square miles altogether. I forgot how many hundreds it is, but it's way on up there into the thousands of square miles. And like I said, Ape Canyon is like a little pinprick. The whole thing. Like I said, if you want a mind blow, Google Bigfoot sightings, Mount St. Helens, and look at what you pull up. You've got Hanobi that is famous. Everybody just about in the Bigfoot world has heard of Hanobi. From Wes, me, they have the Bigfoot, a large, one of the largest Bigfoot conventions is in Hanobi. And it's not far from Mount St. Helens.
Yeah. It made me more of a believer because I mean it just makes me think this thing is very dangerous if you cross it. I mean it knows revenge and it just don't like people. It can tolerate us, you know, but it basically its experience with people is like
see that's
not very good.
That's what I try to tell people. These things do not have any need nor want for us to go out and establish any kind of communications or whatever with these things. You know, you want to observe them, try to do it at a distance, because like I tell people, think of a bear. You're not going to go out and try to observe a Kodiak bear 50 yards.
No.
Just remember what you would do in case of a bear, because these things can be fine 1 second and you do something that annoys them, or do you think that they think you're putting one of their young ones in danger or whatever, and it turns real quick, real quick. Ask Memphis. He knows what I'm talking about. And they give signs that they're being annoyed. You start hearing the real quick, and sometimes people mistake the chest beating as they're actually slapping a tree. That's how hard they beat, and the way when they slap their chest. That's an indication that, hey, what they're doing is they're ramping themselves up for an attack. They just don't usually attack. They ramp themselves up for it. It's basically a warning, because wild animals do not want to actually fight, because they run the risk of both of the animals getting hurt and both of them dying.
It's basically that you just hear the warning, stop doing what you're doing, and leave.
Yeah, slowly back up, because that way was safe when you came in. So slowly go back that way. That shows you're not trying to be a threat, and usually that de-escalates the situation. Unless you got one of these big, crazy, freaking alpha males, and then if he's done got to the point where he's ramping himself up, he's got. Think about it. It's the bully. If the bully doesn't show that he's not going to take any crap off you, he's not going to be the bully for very long in the yard.
Yeah. It's I know it's dangerous to be around them, but if you do something stupid, I know I've heard about people observing them, just watching them, not from too close. You get too close to any wild animal, it's gonna believe you're a threat, even if you know you're not. They're gonna believe you're a threat, and they're not gonna attack. They might.
Well,
some might.
Well, like the other thing is, you don't know before you go into an area. You need to research it, ask questions. Especially, I'm talking about a lot of people don't like to do that because they don't like to be felt like hey, I'm crazy or whatever. But see what's been happening, what's going on. Because if you've got somebody that's been coming there, leaving them tributes, as some of them want to call it, like food and stuff like that, they associate humans with food. Okay. A human comes in there that doesn't know that, hey, well, I'm supposed to leave you something to eat. So, when I leave out and you don't leave something, they're looking for their food. They're looking for what they've been trained to do. Think about a dog. It's the easiest way I put it. If you train your dog, every time they sit, you give them a treat. Well, the dog walks in there and sits. What is it expecting? It's expecting his treat.
And if you don't give his treat,
he's going to start acting up usually. Well,
exactly.
Same way. I'm talking about. That's like you got people that move into new houses and stuff off in the woods. They're not used to being in the woods. And all of a sudden these things start coming up to their house and start messing with them. 9 times out of 10, you'll find out whoever was there before was either throwing scraps out or one thing or another they were doing and not knew that they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and it caused an habitual
relationship.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's
an interesting thing to do. I mean, like you said, it's like a dog. You give it a treat, expects a treat whenever it sits down, whatever. But unlike a dog, these things are highly intelligent. I'm not saying dogs are intelligent too, but they're not as intelligent as these Bigfoot or Sasquatch,
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. We know so little about these animals and these creatures, and that's what people don't understand. They are animals. So you need to treat them just like you would any of. They are the top tier predators in their environment. Yeah. Is my belief. Like I said, if you walk out and find a bear, you don't just walk up and try to put that bear on the head. That's not going to turn out good. It's not going to turn out good.
That thing's going to probably try to bite you and rip your arm off.
You're going to be bear poop.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to put it. But like I said, oh shit. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Just 1 second. I forgot to do something. Lakea, y'all, is kind of feeling under the weather. That's the reason why she's not here. She's been feeling a little under the weather for a couple of days. I think it's because of lack of sleep. You can ask Miss Vamp and Chaos if he was in here. She's like a dog with a bone. She gets on something, she just keeps going.
Yeah, she was a big help on this one as well. She found some things that didn't find before.
Yeah.
So we chatted pretty much
Hey,
for a good
Paul.
while.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, type something else. I want to make sure I did something right. I don't know why my chat's rolling so slow. The other night it was going so freaking fast you couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, I know. And me, it's just like hadn't moved since Kevin typed something.
Yeah, that's the way mine is right now. I don't know if Paul heard me or not.
There it goes. Timmy typed something.
Hey, Timmy. All right, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
I think Vamp is busy and
yeah. And the Kaya's in bed asleep, thank God. She does a lot of work for y'all. I know she does.
Yep. I said she's been busy with her stuff. She's been pounding out stories, and for some stupid reason, she'd already had some more stuff up. But she has a program I bought her called Sony Movie Studios.
Yeah.
Platinum. Well, for some stupid reason, her computer decided I'm going to erase the key code, and every time I put it back in, it says invalid.
Man, when she sent me some stuff, an email, it said from Windows 10. Windows 10 that's why I use Windows 8.1. Because Windows 10 can screw. It don't work with certain programs.
What? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what Right Mexican said. Okay.
All right, Mason. Oh, one more thing before I go. Well, do you like the band Rammstein?
I never heard of it. I can't get. But you know, for some,
you're cutting out, Walt.
I see why now. My damn shit buffered. I never heard of Rammstein, but
Me either.
No, Paul, I'm not going to play with a spider. I don't like spiders. It ain't hurt it that would get upset. It would be me.
Oh, you want to hear something weird? I do this occasionally. We get sprayed every once a month. But I actually punched a brown recluse. I shoved my fist. I just punched it. Just went boom. It got exploded all over my hand. It's nasty. But I'm not as scared of spiders. But this is just weird. My mom, she's terrified of mice.
I don't like spider. I've removed a spider with a shotgun.
Oh, it's German heavy metal. Spiders with a shotgun, really, Walt?
Yeah. It zagged when it should have zigged.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah. Like I said, me and spider. I don't like. Me and spiders don't go. You want to get hurt or see somebody get hurt? Let them mess with me with a spider. I don't like spiders. That's the only thing I just about don't. I have. I'm not scared of them. I just don't like them. They're sneaky little bastards. So will sneak up and bite you and run away.
Hey, it does. They do. I've known a few people here that this one lady, she got bit by I think it was a brown recluse. And the best thing about that though is that she had diabetes. And she died about last year, I think. Early last year. I mean late last year. Not from the bite, but because of her diabetes, she got infections all over the place. She didn't take care of herself very well. And no, Dark Metal Mage, I'm not crazy. That's what I had on me at the time. And you're talking to you're saying that to a person that punches a 2x4 with his fist every week, fist fight every week. So, but go ahead, Walt.
I was gonna say is, what do you got coming down the? Oh man, the Story Dark sent you put up. Yeah, y'all need to go check out the Story Dark Water sent him. There's that's on Grim's channel now.
That is a good one, and really it is spooky. I mean, I had to when he sent it to me, I had to download. I downloaded it. I downloaded it 3 or 4 times. Each time it would get shorter and shorter. So I had to download it onto another program that I have on here, and then have it put on that OBS that you sent me, which is a thank you. That's a great help, very good help with stories like that. It turned it into what I needed, and that the thing is that when I was listening to it, I was like, oh man, to be that guy and to be that clerk, you know what I'm saying? And they both hear the same thing. I'm just wondering what, and it makes me want to investigate it, but that's Dark Waters stuff, and but that's just this investigator in me. We were talking about earlier story about me and you earlier tonight, and I was talking to you about that football player that I wanted to try to investigate, but
Yeah,
I do agree with you.
We ain't gonna talk about that one because it's too close to news now, and it sounds like it's an ongoing investigation. So we'll leave that one alone so nobody gets in trouble. So what do you got coming down the pipeline in the future, if you don't mind telling us?
Oh, I will give you a little snippet about tomorrow. Okay, I will give you a snippet. Just a small snippet, because it's gonna be. I don't know how big it is, but I know about it. But it's about a little kid, a little girl that was raised by something that wasn't human. It's not, a cryptid or anything. It was just she was raised by something that was not human. And I'm not sure how awesome it's going to be, but when I read the story, I really liked it. And it's just going to be interesting. She was raised by something that wasn't human. And this story comes from this year. The person who wrote this story, it was this year when they wrote it. And it's in somewhere in the UK, I think.
What's up, little sis vamp?
India. It was in India. But yeah, that's a little snip. Hey, Vamp. Vamp, get in there?
Paul P. Yeah, I check it time to time, but wow, did you send me something? I know somebody sent me something saying they thought they knew who I was because they'd seen something on Facebook or heard something on Facebook, and they said that I had nice silver hair. I don't know who you were looking at, but it wasn't me. I ain't got gray hair.
No, he does not.
you can ask Vamp and Chaos and Grim got a slight look at my hair. I don't have no gray hair.
Vamp. Yeah. I think what Vamp said, right? You don't regularly check your email. You don't.
No, dude. Look, I was busier than a flea and a dog convention earlier.
Yeah, you were. You were what, triple tasking?
Yeah, don't let nobody know what I was doing because.
Oh no, dude. No.
Part of it's for Vamp. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But he was triple tasking earlier today. Actually, if you really want to say it, 4 tasking, because someone knocked on his door while we were chatting. And it was a good long chat too. It was about almost
and I had the goofy
an hour and a half. Yeah, that goofy weird phone call. I ain't gonna talk about that. If you want to, Vault, I'll let you have that one. Because I heard this. I heard it from Vault's end. I didn't hear from the other end, but it was hilarious. In my opinion. I know you meant it seriously, but
I don't like telemarketers, and I don't understand how they get your number. But I don't think that telemarketer will be calling me back no more.
No,
we'll just leave it at that.
No. She will not be calling you back. But yeah, I got a government phone, and I get 2 something minutes. That's why I don't put my phone number out there, because I don't get that much. Um, but even they'll even call my phone, and I have a government phone, so that's some right there. And I didn't think that. I thought those things would be protected against that crap. You know.
Vamp's gonna get. Look, I think I got Vamp kicked out of her class the other night. I stole Lakea's phone. I think it was last night.
Oh, you
well,
you did call me on her phone. I think it was last night, or
yeah.
was it early
Well,
that morning?
I found out it's not only my phone that don't speak vault. It's Lakea's, and spell check stuff where I know for a fact I spelled the word out 3 different times and it changed it to something that I don't understand why it did that. But Vamp was laughing so hard, I think she said she was about to get kicked out of class.
Oh, you gotta hear this. I was texting Akia earlier about around, I think it was about 6. At about 6. Just before you had called me. And I said, I tried to use the voice chat. I mean the voice thing to speak out what I said. My phone does not speak Grim. It said, I said, Lakayla, would you please tell Vault to message me call me when, I think it was yesterday or today, and when he was ready to speak, or call me at 6. Yeah, call me at 6 is what I said. And it said, tell Bob. I don't know where it got Vault from Vault. I'm like, and she said, did you mean tell Vault to call you at 6? I said, yes. I'm like, that thing, and the spell check. Oh God, I hate spell check. I hate spell check.
Yeah, me and spell check. It's not just spell check. I was trying to type in the chat on DW stuff and monitor his chat. Me and Vamp broke out the lifesavers last night. We were seeing who could whack the most people. They were acting up last night because I don't want DW to stop doing his live stuff no more. And I was trying to do that, talk to the phone, and didn't look down to see what the phone had sent. And I'm like, what the hell? I couldn't even tell you what it was trying to say.
These phones are supposed to be smartphones, and I'm not.
Yeah, I got one. Mine has Tourette's. I can tell you that now.
I believe it. I think mine has.
Look, I spent 45 minutes trying to make a phone call to Grim earlier. Didn't realize I'd put my damn phone on airplane mode. Could not figure out for the life of me why this damn thing is not acting right, why it's not calling. But yeah, it was on airplane mode. That's how stupid sometimes I do stuff.
Oh no. Mine. No, I don't like. See, when I was texting my mom's phone one time, texting to, I think it was, no, I was trying to call somebody on my mom's phone. She had what I have now, a touchscreen. I cracked her screen trying to push the talk button. She said, you're supposed to slide that little bar before you push that. I'm like, I don't know how to work this damn thing. Pardon my language, I'm sorry. But this dang thing, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that thing. And I cracked her screen, and she was like, you cracked my screen. Why'd you do that? I said, Mom.
I'm sorry. I was reading chat.
Oh, it's fine. I said, Mom, all I did was push a button. Push the wrong button.
Taylor, what are you talking about?
Me, Paul, why do you think vaccines does not create autism? Autism. I will tell you that right now.
We ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole, but
no, because you have fight in your hand, Tater, and you will lose. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh no, my damn cord got. How the hell did I tie myself up? Okay. You're not the what?
You're
Okay.
now on the stim pack, whatever that means.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Hey, look who joined us.
Lakea.
I'll behave.
She arose.
She arose from the library.
So you never know where she's gonna come out at.
Does she ever scare you, Vault?
No. Where do you think she learned it from?
She scares me sometimes. She's such a
She's
when you talk to her, she's such a nice person, and it scares me. I'm not used to being so nice to her. Lakay will tell me. Lakay will tell you about that. I won't get into that, but I'm not used to people being so nice to me.
Lakea, I'm gonna get you.
But yeah, but yeah, like I was saying that yeah, I became more of a believer when I read those missing reports. I didn't know Bigfoot would do things. I mean, Carter, that whole Carter incident, that one was a scary one. When Lakaya found that and she sent me the link, we were sending links back and forth all night for a while. You know, look at this, look at that.
Lakea gets. I'm telling you, she gets on looking at something. She's like a bloodhound. She'll find stuff that I don't understand how the hell she found.
I believe you. I believe you, and that sometimes that scares me too. That scares me too, but in a good way. In a good way. There's good ways and bad ways of scaring me. But that's another story. Time for another time.
Yeah, Lakea's up because I think she just turned her minions loose in here. I think her baby Absol's trying to get to my door.
Is that the one that lacks you?
Yeah.
The one that won't leave you alone?
Yeah,
I can hear it in the background.
I think it's just trying to figure out a way to catch me off guard.
you be careful, man. It might wake up, and one day you might wake up and it'll be right in your face. Be wary of that thing.
Uh,
Look at that. Oh, just wait on my next panel. I'm still pissed. Read what Lakay said.
I don't know what message you're talking about. I didn't do it. Grim did it.
Hey, now
look. Ask Tam. If you but you got to be fast enough not to get blamed around here. If you get if you say you just got to put it on somebody else. If you say I didn't do it, the other person did it, then you're stuck with it.
I blame on Absol.
All right, you messing with her Absol, she really gonna get you. But like I said, I liked the story that you did on Ape Canyon. It was nice. It was some stuff that I hadn't heard from anybody else. So I see everybody needs to go check that out. And like I said, and then he's got a lot of stuff. He's done one on the black-eyed kids.
I know a bunch of people are afraid to touch that one.
Well, honestly, I've not had an encounter with any black-eyed kids. I've got a couple of reports, but I don't know enough about the black-eyed kids yet to be doing any kind of stories because I don't know in the reports what to be looking for a lot yet. So I know that I'm not doing somebody's creepypasta report because I don't want to be having everybody think that I'm telling something that is not factual. If it's just a story for a scare, I'd rather tell you, hey, this is just a scary story, for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, what I did with that one, I had to really go in deep with that one and read every word. There's some stuff in there that creeped me out. I couldn't even read the whole story. It really creeped me out. What was happening to those people at that point after well, I'll let the people watch it, but at certain points, really, it started getting really creepy with those people. Really bad things started happening to them, and I mean, you'll see in the report that her husband, he developed skin cancer, but you could only get that cancer if you did a lot of indoor tanning, and he's never done any of it.
Oh yeah. Before we end this, hey, I'm gonna say something on it, Lakia, for you. Y'all, Lakia found this group that I can tell you when she does another live stream, you'll hear about it. But they have done got on the wrong side of Lakia. So y'all, when she puts up her when she does another live stream, just wait. And all I can say is these people better hope it's not ladies panel, because they gonna rip y'all a new one. That was just ignorant to shit that you come back with on a comment to somebody.
Yeah.
Just wait. And don't try to say you didn't say it, because she's got a screenshot to prove it.
Oh man, and evidence. Whew.
Like I said,
Oh man,
y'all have
you're gonna
gotten on
get
the
toward a new
wrong
one.
side of Lakia. So good luck. It was nice. Not
Good
knowing.
luck. Be safe and be safe.
Yeah, like I said, she look. There's just a couple of things that really set Lakia off. One is people being mean to kids, neglecting kids, being mean to animals, neglecting animals, and doing
Sexist.
sexist and rude remarks towards women. Uh, all I can say is, oops, you stepped on a landmine. Your best bet is to just leave your foot there.
Yep. Because if you move it, it's gone. Oh man. But yeah, that's a whopper of a thing. People doing that. You know. I mean, why would anybody be stupid enough to do that to anybody? Right?
And I don't know why these people were just dumb enough to put what they put up. But like I said, that Lakia said she wanted to address it, so that's what I'm staying out of it. All I'm saying is,
Good luck.
no, it ain't good luck. Your best bet is to end it yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Memphis, I can't check it while I'm on here. I'll check it when I get off. But I was going to do an hour long one on this one. It's been about that long, folks. And like I said, I hope y'all like these little midweek shows. I'm trying to get everything worked out with Lakia, my channel, and everything, so she has time to do everything. And it's supposed to be storming in my area Friday, so I'm going to try to do a show. If something happens and I don't, it's only because everything went haywire, which is usually what happens. If it didn't go haywire, I wouldn't know how to act. But Grim, it's been fun, dude. I appreciate you being my first guest here. Into the darkness.
Oh, I much
And
appreciated, Bart. I'm glad I am.
oh yeah, Grim's yeah, y'all put a one in the chat if y'all think Grim's awesome. Yeah, like I said, Grim's my little buddy. And like I said, y'all please go like, subscribe, and watch his videos. Y'all, the family needs to show Grim some love. He's up to 100 subs, y'all, and we want to see if we.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked when I saw that earlier. I was just like,
Well, like I
wow.
said, I want to show Graham's been here since the beginning of the vault coming on. I think he was on my first or second live stream. He was on DW's first or second. Like I said, he's been around. He's been doing. He's had his nose to the grindstone. He's been putting his stuff up.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot, and I'm also I'm gonna do this. Is it okay with you to plug my Sunday night show?
Oh, dude, go ahead. Matter of fact,
All right.
If one of the girls don't want to do it, I'll go do it. Go ahead, plug your stuff, dude.
All right, Sunday night, I got with this man. He's becoming a good friend. I'm hoping he'll become part of the family as well. I'm working with him somewhat. I've been plugging his stuff as much as I can. His name's Wicked One. If y'all know him, then he's got some dogman stories that he's been doing, and they're pretty good. I mean, the quality's not so good. He's been recording on his phone, but it's real good. They're not very long. But Sunday night, he's going to tell me 3 stories, and one that no one's heard. And he's going to tell the complete story. He's only going to tell half on my show. And he's going to tell the complete one on his channel. His name's Wicked One.
Okay.
Look him up. He's good. He's got don't got that many yet.
Hey, y'all, I want to tell y'all
good.
something else too. Well, Miss Lakea has hit 360 subs on her channel. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Miss Beautiful Lakea.
Congrats.
And y'all don't forget to go like, subscribe to her. She's got I'm telling y'all, as soon as I can, me and her computer and hammer have a talk. She has been churning out. I think she has 3 or 4 stories plus the stuff she's working on with Chaos and Vamp. And y'all need to go check out Miss Vamp has a channel that she's fixing, I think, start putting stuff up on. I don't want to tell y'all a story. But Chaos is my co-host, y'all, on the Friday night show. The first hour of the Vault of Nightmares with Chaos is Paranormal. So the first hour, Chaos has got the mic. Usually I'm back and forth with him, but it's he's doing paranormal. That's everything from ghosts to and then we have the after dark show with Vault is the second hour. And like I said, you never know what I'm going to talk about. You never know in the first hour if somebody's going to lit me on fire or not, and where I'm going to go with stuff. So,
Yeah, I mean, every one of the ones that I've watched, I've been in almost every one of them. Every one of yours, I've been in chat, and they're very entertaining. And when they started that with Chaos, the whole paranormal thing, first hour, it really got interesting. And then Vault, well, Vault, it just gets funny after that, and sometimes he gets serious, but most time it's kind of funny, and
yeah,
it's great.
The Friday night show is called Vault 2.0, and like I said, it's got a few more tricks up its sleeve that it's coming out with. It's going to be going towards more of a podcast look. And like I said, the very first part of it now is Paranormal with Chaos. The second part of it is Darkness with well, I won't call it Darkness. We'll call it Vault Cryptids.
There you
Because
go.
you never know where we're going to go with it. But like I said, the very first hour is going to be our good buddy here that I think he's done slipped off. It's going to be with Chaos.
And the second hour is with you.
Yeah, I was trying to I was making sure to see what the K was putting. But y'all, thank y'all very much for going and subscribing to Lakea, Vamp, Chaos. Please go subscribe to Grim, because you never know what he's going to be doing. Him talking about he does things from cryptids in the water. He just tells the news how it should be, just the bare bones truth. He doesn't associate himself with anybody, and he just reports what's there. But y'all, please go check him out, like, subscribe, and show him some love. Until Friday night, y'all have a good night. Make sure that door's locked.